Last year, this one product made me $135,550. And this isn't the only product that is making me money on Amazon. In fact, just today in my storefront alone, I was able to do $20,000 in sales. First Prime Day of 2026. And within the last 30 days of selling on Amazon, I've been able to do $216,000 in sales, all by selling brand name products just like the one you're seeing on my screen right now. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly step by step how this works so you could copy my strategy and start printing money yourself. My name is Jaden Adamson, and since 2020, I've been selling on Amazon and have been doing multiple seven figures for the last couple years. On top of that, I've been able to help over 500 working professionals also get started with this business. And like I said, today, I really just want to take you behind the scenes on how this business works so you could potentially get the same results as me. Now, when it comes to selling on Amazon, you really only have two responsibilities. The first one is being able to put yourself in a position to find profitable inventory consistently with product sourcing. And the second one is being able to sell through that inventory, obviously. So the first thing I want to take you through is the non-negotiables that I use in my business to go about the product research phase. The first thing I always stand by is at least a bare minimum of a 30% ROI on every single product that I pick up. We use the software here, Seller's Amp, and pretty much it's a profit calculator, right? That tells you the ROI each product is going to have before you pull the trigger and actually buy any inventory. Now, the bare minimum ROI I want to see on a product is at least 30%, because if I'm investing thousands of dollars in inventory, it doesn't make sense to go make 10-20% in the marketplace. I would rather just put my money in the S&P 500 if that was the case. So bare minimum, I want to see a 30% return. Now, there's something that I use called discount stacks. And what these stacks do is it increases my ROI by 10 to 20%. A little bit later in this video, I'll go over exactly how these stacks work and what softwares to use so you could be able to see ROI like me make 50-60% on every single product that you're finding. But again, this is the first principle when it comes down to the product sourcing. Now, the second principle is real simple. I want to put myself in a position where I'm making a bare minimum of $5 per unit in pure profit. The reason for this is because it doesn't make sense for me to go buy a product like this. Let's say it was a $1 profit per unit and it was selling 900 times a month. Now, yeah, that makes $900 per month, but is it really worth the work and effort and energy that it's going to take to make that $900 off this product? In my opinion, it's really not. Maybe when you're starting out at a smaller scale. But when you're like me, you're at 200-300K a month with a storefront. I just want to see at least a $5 profit per unit because it's easy, right? It's easier to scale. The amount of inventory I would have to buy to be able to make $76,000 last month would be 76,000 units. Like, that literally makes no sense to me, right? So this is another rule that I set for myself when it comes down to product sourcing in terms of finding inventory that I'm actually going to sell. Now, the third non-negotiable is going to be to see a BSR rank of at least 100,000 on any ASIN that you're picking up. Ideally, you want it to be in the top 1% right here. And what BSR rank means is it means bestseller rank. So if you think about selling on Amazon like running a race, the first place, BSR rank number 1, is the top selling product in a certain category. Now, when we look at this specific product that I'm selling right now, we can see this is ranked 26,000. So this is a top 26,000 selling product in health and household. That's what that rank means. Now, if this product was 200,000th, it would only be selling like 50 times a month, 75 times a month. I want to make sure that the inventory that I'm buying is selling a couple hundred times a month, or again, it's just not going to be worth my while. If a product is selling 10, 20 times a month, again, it could be good starting out, but to get to my scale, to get to $100,000 a month, you'd at least want to sell inventory that you can make a couple $1,000s a month in profit on. So that is my third non-negotiable rule when it comes to doing product research on Amazon. Now, if you incorporate all these three rules, what's going to happen is you're going to make a shit ton of money. Now, before we get into the specifics of how to source and how to find products like this that are going to make you a couple $1,000s a month, you first have to have this tech stack set up correctly. So when it comes to Amazon, the tool stack I use is only 3 softwares. The first one is going to be Keepa. And what this shows you is it shows you the price history and the price action of a specific product. Now on Amazon, the price is volatile. The price could change every 15 minutes on a product. Now you can see with a product like this over the last year, price has been relatively consistent. Since May, this product has been consistently selling for around $40. And for the rest of this year, the average price on this product has been around $40. Again, this is just going to show you the price action of a product, so you're not buying a product that's going to tank in price that you're going to make no money on. So this is the first tool you want to get set up. In terms of getting this tool set up, you could go to keepa.com. You could sign up. You're going to want to make sure that you have the Pro subscription. So you'll click this button right here. It'll have registered now. And then from there, you'll be able to select the Pro subscription. It's a $20 a month subscription, and it is a non-negotiable to be able to put yourself in a position to make money with this platform and find profitable inventory that actually sells. Now, the second tool that you need, which is one I alluded to earlier in this video, is Seller's Amp. What Seller's Amp is going to do specifically is it's going to show you, number one, how much profit you're going to make on a unit before you ever buy it. And number two, it's going to show you how many times a product is selling a month. This is essential because in order for you to determine whether or not a product is profitable, well, you need to see how much it's going to cost to ship to Amazon. You also need to get the data on how much Amazon's going to charge you to fulfill that product on your behalf, right? So this takes all those fees, then you put in your cost price, and then from there, you'll be able to see your net profit per unit that you sell on this specific ASIN. So again, this is going to be a non-negotiable software. You could go to sellersamp.com, and in Seller's Amp, you'll be able to create an account. They have a 14-day free trial. It's like around $25, $29 a month, and it is a non-negotiable to be able to find profitable products on the site so you could be able to make money just like me. Now, the third thing you could do, and this is completely optional software you could get set up, is going to be Boxum. Now, as a beginner seller, you're going to be restricted to sell a lot of products like this. In fact, you're not going to be eligible to sell this specific brand. I could almost guarantee you that. So then the question lies, well, Jaden, if I'm a new seller, if I'm just getting started with this, what brands could I sell that are auto approved? What brands could I sell that aren't restricted with a new account? And that's exactly what Boxum is going to do for you. Additionally, with Boxum, it's going to be able to tell you how much money you're making every single day with your Amazon business and how much profit you're actually accumulating once you start getting consistent sales. So I'd recommend this if you want to speed up the process. If you just want to get your feet in the water, get your first $500 to $1,000 in sales by watching this video. Again, this software is probably not needed for you, but this is going to be the tool stack that I use to run my business. Now, earlier I spoke about this discount stack, and there's a couple tools I use for this discount stack that we'll get into a little bit later, but I want to make sure that you have the tool stack set up properly. The first one is going to be coming over here and downloading Cooper. Now, what Cooper is going to do for you is it's going to show you the available coupons on certain websites. Most websites that you're going to be ordering from are going to offer you anywhere from 10% to 25% off. This is going to help you increase your margin and get an extra 10, 20, 30% in ROI. The second one is going to be Rakuten, which is going to be a software that gives you cash back to place orders, right? So certain websites will give you cash back to place orders on their site. For example, if I ordered off Nike right now, I'd be able to get 8% cash back, which again is going to add an extra 8 to maybe 5% to my net margin. And then the last one I use is Top Cash Back. So these are the 3 extensions that you need to download. Again, all the links for all these tools are going to be in the description down below. So these are really all the tools you need to start that product research process. Now, the next thing I want to do is just go through step by step the actual product research system that I recommend for all beginners getting started with Amazon. Now, when it comes to product research, I want you to think of the skill set in 2 skills specifically. The first skill is, okay, how do I generate profitable products? How can I consistently generate products just like the one I'm showing you on my screen right now, right? And we do that with something I like to call reverse storefront stocking. Now, the second thing, once you start generating profitable products is, okay, well, how do I know this actually sells? And it's going to make a profit before I buy the product. And that is validating the product. So we validate the product with Keepa and Seller's Amp. And this is what we're going to dive into right now. How to, number one, generate the products that are going to be profitable, but also validate them to make sure that we're buying the right inventory. Now, the first thing we're going to start with is, well, how do you actually generate those products? And it's pretty simple. All we do is just piggyback off proven sellers. We see what other people are selling in the marketplace. We find products that are already selling, already have demand, and we try to find their suppliers. Now, once we do that, then we validate with making sure the 90-day price point is very consistent. And we also want to make sure the sales rank is consistent. You can see on this product for the last 3 months, the 90-day chart price is really consistent around that $40 price point. Therefore, we know that this product is going to sell on average for around $40. Understand that if you find a product that is selling, but the 90-day data isn't clean, meaning that the number isn't consistent, the chart isn't stable, then you can't buy that product and you're going to have to walk away from that product. But if this data is clean, if the chart is consistent, then you can buy it and you just want to confirm the demand. You want to go to Seller's Amp and see, okay, is this a bestseller? Is this actually selling on Amazon? Does this have a good BSR rank? Now, from there, we could find suppliers and it could potentially be a qualified buy. So again, this is just an overview on kind of the product research process and like the 2 skill sets you need to acquire to start getting your first sales on the platform. To get more specific into the step-by-step, this is going to be how it works. So step 1 is you're going to start with finding a top selling product or brand, right, on Amazon. So there's a bunch of ways that you could go about this product research process. But the first thing you could do is you could just like follow along. What we'll do is we'll start with a popular brand called Natural Cure B. Now, this is a popular brand selling on Amazon. It's pretty consistent seller. You can see this is one of their top sellers, selling around 200 times a month. So you want to start with a brand that's selling a couple hundred times a month. Now, from there, you want to look and see how many sellers are actually on that product. This new offer count, this chart down below, is going to show you specifically how many sellers are on that product at a given time. I want to make sure off every single product that I'm doing reverse product research off of right here, right? The strategy I'm going over with you. I want to make sure that there's at least 5 sellers on the listing, right? If there's 1 seller, you're going to have to move on. But if there's a minimum of 5 sellers, then you could proceed with the product research on that product. So again, this is a pretty popular brand that you could start with. Once we find a product that has at least 5 sellers on it, what we're going to want to do here is we want to come to Seller's Amp and we want to scroll down to this offer section. Now in offers, we'll see all the sellers that are actually selling this specific product right now. At the start, what we want to do is we want to look at sellers that are within 10 reviews. So you could see on this product right now, a lot of these sellers have 0 reviews. So if you don't see any reviews, they have 0 reviews, or they may have like 4 reviews, 1 review. You really only want to look at sellers that are similar to your storefront. So if you're just starting on Amazon, right, it only makes sense to look at sellers like under 10 reviews. The next thing I do want to premise is you want to make sure that you're only looking at FBA sellers because you're doing Amazon FBA. You're not doing any other sort of fulfillment strategy on Amazon. So you want to look at lookalike sellers, right? That's what we're going for in this instance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that seller right there, and then SaaS pulls me up all the products that this guy is selling in his storefront. We could see the top brands that he's selling. So we could see he's selling a lot of generic products, and then he has these 2 brands that he's selling right here. Now, this seller isn't a good example of someone I would look at just because he doesn't really have too many brands in his storefront. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click through a couple sellers just to see what the most popular brands certain sellers are selling. So we can see this seller has 18 ASINs in his storefront. His top brand is Bob's Red Mill. And then from here, we're going to want to move to step 2. So step 2 in this process is real simple, and that is check, Target, Walmart, CVS, not for promos, but check suppliers to see if you're able to find the product for a profitable price. So how this is going to work is you're going to come over here, you're going to click on the ASIN, and you have a max cost. So the max cost on this product specifically is $10, meaning that in order for us to be profitable on a product like this, we need to pick it up for a minimum of $10 to make our 30% return. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Google and we're going to search for this product specifically. So how this will work is we're going to click through all the suppliers that are actually selling this said product. Now that we have found the top suppliers that are selling this product, then all we're going to do is we're going to go to their website to see if we could get it within this max cost of $10 per unit. So we could see right here on Great Lakes Power Tools, this product is selling for $987 a unit. We have to validate, make sure it's the same product, but I'm going to keep on going to see whether or not I could get a better price point than that. This product doesn't have a price, so it says where to buy, so I'm going to exit out of this. We see right here on this website, it's selling for $7 a unit. So this is cheaper than this site if it's the same product. Here it's $940 a unit, which is actually cheaper than the first site we looked at. Here the site's not popping up, so I'm going to exit out of this. This is $10.90 a unit, so it's not going to make sense. So we have 3 hits that we have. Now our main focus is being able to, number 1, make sure that it's the same product, but also number 2, be able to put ourselves in a position where we could find the cheapest price on this ASIN specifically. Now, as you could see, the price has already updated since we looked at Seller's Amp, again, which proves my point. Literally, price is going to update every 15 minutes. On this product specifically, we could see max cost now dip to $821. So we want to be around there with this ASIN. We could see on this site, it's $7 a unit if we buy 40 units. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little code, this product code right here, and I want to see if it's the same code. So 28410034. It's a 6-inch guard. We could see that, yeah, this 6-inch type 27 guard, which is the same product right here that we're looking for, T27. So everything checks out. This is one product. We could see if we only buy 1 unit, it's coming out to $784, which is going to give us that 43% ROI. Profit per unit is under our non-negotiable, which is a red flag, but we're going to keep on moving on to the next site. Now, the next site's $940. We're not going to get cheaper than $7 on this product right now. Now, one thing to premise is that at the start, if you want to get your feet wet, you could buy products like this that are going to make a couple $100s a month. For me specifically, I'm not going to entertain products like this because I'm not in this business to make a couple $100 per product that we source. It's something you could do at the start. When my storefront was under 50K a month, I was buying products similar to this, and I wasn't as strict on my profit per unit target that I have set. But overall, this looks like a decent product on Amazon. Now, the next thing you want to do is validate. So remember how I said when it comes down to Amazon, we want to see, number 1, can we reverse source products from sellers that are profitable, sellers that are similar to your storefront? And then when we find profit, can we validate those products? So to validate a product, we want to look, does it check out an ROI? Now, ROI is a non-negotiable thing you look at. So this checks out. Profit per unit does not check out, right? So profit per unit's 338. I want to be around $5 per unit. So again, like I said, this is probably a product that I would pass on. But if I was a newer seller, if I was under 50K a month with my storefront, this is something that I could potentially entertain to make maybe a couple $100 every single month. Now, with this product, the next thing we want to look at is going to be the keep it chart, right? So what is happening with this product and where is price going to go? Now, understand price moves based on supply and demand of a specific product. So you can see on this product right here, the new offer count is increasing, meaning that more sellers are coming on this product month after month. Therefore, price is going to trend downwards. Now, you have to ask yourself, number 1, has there been a time in history where this product has had this type of new offer? And if so, where was price when it had that type of new offer? So if we come to this products all time, we could see this is the highest amount of new offers this product has ever had. Therefore, we can't properly determine where price is going to go. But what we can see on the month chart is that offer count is stabilizing. And over the last, over the last couple weeks, it's been around this 50 new offer count, and the offer count is decreasing. So it is probable, and with a ROI 43%, it is probable that this product holds at this price point. It's something that I would definitely test by, but I wouldn't go so deep on. So like a product like this, we could potentially pick up around 20 units of it by maybe only 1 to 2 weeks deep, just because this offer count is very high, and it is probable for price to keep on dipping on us. So this wouldn't be the best product that you would buy. Again, this probably wouldn't even be a product that I would buy in my store because it doesn't meet my profit criteria, but this is the strategy. So if you're a new seller just starting out with this business model, you want to do this 100 times. If you do this 100 times, out of the 100 products you source, you're going to be able to find at least 10 to 20 that are profitable, that meet the non-negotiable criteria that we have set, and that have stable offer counts and doesn't have a new offer count that's rapidly increasing. That's really the strategy in terms of being able to piggyback off new sellers. And then the next thing we could do is we could look for discounts. So there's a couple ways to do this. We could see on this website right here, if we buy 40 units, we save around 80 cents a unit. Now, what I'll always do is I'll add it to my cart, I'll check out, and I'll see, does this site have any discounts available? Now, if Cooper doesn't pop up right here, you can see how it doesn't pop up right here. It says there's one coupon available, which is welcome 10. Now, we could check to see if this works. You'll have to register, go through this process, and check to see if that discount works or not. If it works, then we'll make an extra 10% on our margin. If not, then we could potentially place this order and only make 40% on whatever we're investing in this product. So that's the last thing we do. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to buy the inventory and send it to a prep center. Now, what a prep center does is it preps out the inventory to be able to send to Amazon. I can't buy this product directly from this website and have them send it to Amazon, because inventory has to be properly prepped to be able to send to Amazon and sell the inventory. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to prepcenter.com, which is the best website to find any prep centers. Now on prepcenter.com, think about this as the trust pilot of prep centers. So you could come here, press find a prep center. There's prep centers all over the nation that you could use. And anyone that's accepting clients, you can go through a bunch of these, see which one's going to give you the cheapest prices and which one is going to have the best reviews. And then from there, you're going to be able to pick a prep center. Now, I would recommend when picking a prep center, you come here to filters and you only look at the ones that are accepting clients. You only look at the ones that are doing online arbitrage, and you're only looking at the prep centers that are able to turn over inventory within 48 hours. I would also recommend only looking at prep centers either in Delaware or in Oregon or Montana. And the reason for that is because in those states, they're tax-free states, meaning that I don't have to pay any sales tax on the products that I'm purchasing, which is going to save you roughly around 6 to 10% in taxes on products that you're going to be able to purchase. So again, that's how you find a prep center. Again, I would just go through these, go to their website, see which one's going to work best for your storefront. After you get the prep center set up, you could buy the inventory. Typically, I'm buying a month deep if everything matches that criteria, if the keep it chart stable, if the profit's $5 per unit. If we have a product like this, that's a borderline okay, you could try to buy a week deep on it or 2 weeks deep just to test it out to see if you're getting sales, see if you're getting conversions, or you could just stick to the guidelines that I have set above. From there, you send it directly to the prep center's address. They send it to Amazon for you and you forget about it. That's the whole business model, right? Again, as a Amazon seller, your only responsibility is sourcing inventory and validating whether it sells or not and how much to buy of it. Now, when it comes to scaling this business, it just comes down to adding more products in your storefront. So currently right now, we literally have over 200 products in our storefront. At the start, you're going to want to start with just one product to prove it. Get proof of concept, see the model through, get your first sales. And then from there, you're going to want to repeat the process till you have around 5 to 10 products in your storefront. Each product should typically make you around $500 to $2,000 per month. Again, depending on the product you're buying, depending on how much profit per unit it has and how many times it's selling per month. But the name of the game is volume. If our goal is to get 10 products, then we need to look through 100 to 150 ASINs, non-negotiable, to be able to put ourselves in a position to make potentially 5 to 7K a month with this business. We also have to have the capital available to be able to purchase those products as well, right? So to be able to do that 10K a month, which is the target for everyone starting out, right? We realistically need to invest around 10 to 20 to even $30,000 depending on your ROI, because the more money you spend on inventory, the more money you're going to be able to make. I couldn't just place this order for $200 and expect to make $10,000 a month, right? That's not probable to happen, right? Because again, if I bought 40 units of this product and it makes me a $3.30 profit per unit, I only make $132 on this specific ASIN, right? So again, the more money you put into a system, the more you're going to be able to make. Just like stocks, just like real estate, just like anything else that requires any sort of investment, the more you play with, the more you make. For us doing $300,000 a month in sales, it's roughly around $150,000 a month in spend. Now, there's no minimum requirement of how much you need to get started. In fact, I would recommend you get started with $500 to $1,000 just to get that proof of concept and scale it from there. But this is really what the scaling ladder is going to look like for you. It's just adding more products that are profitable to your storefront and then eventually delegating that to other people. And again, we'll probably dive into that maybe in a later video, but at the start, just to hit your first 10K a month in profit, you could do this by yourself by looking at a couple hundred ASINs every single month. Now, one thing I want to premise is that the number one thing you need to be successful with this business is consistency. It's all about getting 1% better every single day. It's all about being consistent with product research, because on your first 10, 20 products that you look up, you're not going to find anything that's profitable. In fact, like I said, you need to look at volume. You need to look at 100, 200 products before you really start seeing this proof of concept at the start. All it's about is being 1% better every single day. And if you wanted to accelerate your results, I'm more than happy to work with you one-on-one in getting to that target of 10K a month. I've been working with people for the last 3 years, one-on-one on scaling storefronts. That's exactly how Bobby, within 12 months of literally starting this business, was able to do over $1 million in sales. It's also how Ashley, within her first couple weeks of getting started working with me, she was able to find 4 products in 2 days, or even how Brian was able to hit $10,000 within 90 days of working with me. Gerardo hit 20K last month, and same with David, who was able to hit another 20K at the beginning of this year. Now, I get a bunch of results. You could see TC did $2,300 a day. Danico hit $6,500 in a week. All it comes down to is consistency and being able to improve your process and getting 1% better a day. Now, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you want to see if we're a good fit to work together, I put a application link down below this video where you could book a call with us and we could build out a 90-day roadmap for you of what it would look like to work with me one-on-one. All you got to do is just click the link down below, fill out the form, and select a time. And one thing I just want to be transparent with you about is there is a limited availability. We only accept 10 students every single month in the program, just because since it is one-on-one, I literally can't work with everyone. So again, if that's any interest to you, you could just click the link down below and see if we're a good fit to work together. Outside of that, I'll see you in the next video.